My name's Joe Richards, and I'm working with students on first year in devising. Theatre is an extraordinary thing. A lot of us see theatre on stage, listen to it on the radio, and stories are absolutely the thing that people are fascinated by. In this process, we're not only looking at the performance of theatre material, we create it ourselves. And that's quite a shift, I think, in the sort of late 20th century, that actors are expected to be involved in the process of making. It's like cooks are expected to grow the food that they actually cook later on. So in 3 years, that's quite a lot to ask for the students to know about performance, but they also have to know about making that material. Of course, the two ideas are absolutely connected. So in the course that I do in the teaching first year students, we're looking at processes of movement, of thinking, of singing, of dancing, all the different processes that go on to making a performer, and seeing within that what are the stories inherent there. One of the things that we train in the first year particularly is a sense of the intelligence of the body. The intelligence of the body is being aware of what you've actually got, because there is a kind of muscle memory that your body has a kind of intelligence, has a way of finding things out that can bypass the head. In the physical work that we do, we try and put together mental ideas and physical ideas and experiment. You'll see students taking material from all sorts of areas, rather like this extraordinary wall here. People have just added stuff, and we as a group create something like this. I suppose if you put this on for too long, the whole thing would just be covered. But then that becomes particularly interesting as you sort out different elements in it. And analysis is very important for the students, what we ask them to do. And so the process isn't just us all having a lovely creative time, but analysing, picking out themes, picking out shapes, picking out sort of trends of what to put in this odd picture. Ensemble is a term that we use a lot in making theatre, and it's about a sense of other people, that the context of the piece that you're working on might be the set, might be an office, but often for the students it's the other students, the other people they're working with. And that, I would say, has been another move in 20th, 21st century theatre, that a performance can happen amongst people. You don't have to lay on a big physical set. What we do and how we move suggests an awful lot. So our assessment is to see the way that students relate to each other, interact with each other. And that builds up notions of trust, generosity, because you live and die with the other person on stage. They've been working in small groups, building up ideas. They are 6 minutes. They're meant to be 6 minutes because actually time is a framework as well as the space that they're working in. And they're supposed to be 6 minutes. They should have a sense of beginning, middle and end. But most of all for me, they should have a sense of the world that they're in. However mad that world might be, all of them should be inhabiting the same world. And I think when it comes to assessment, that's the thing I'll be looking at. Well, that's very interesting, but were you all in that? When that world is convincing, then we are led into that theatre. It may be real, it may be unreal, it may have lots of areas that you might find confusing, but if the students believe in it, then we can enter that world. And that really is what theatre's about, taking us into another kind of sense of reality.
You have the freedom to do whatever you want, whatever interests you, and especially if you're in a group with people that you trust, like we all trust each other to tell each other things that we don't necessarily need to put in our piece, but will inform us of different things that happen in our lives that we can connect to a piece.
I would never have expected to do the things I've done now. Now I would expect to do them in like a few years' time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the kind of stuff that we're going to do
where it's going to go
in the
next.
third year if we're already this close and creating such strong work, I think. When you're connecting with different people in a group with different experiences and backgrounds, and you kind of like learn how each of you relate to each other, and you're like, oh, I didn't know you went through that, or you did that, or I did too, or I've never heard of that, could you explain it to me? And then we kind of like put all of these things together and create something that I would not have created on my own. It takes everybody's input and everybody's stories really, and put it all together to create something unique.
It's just finding different ways to look at stuff. Like, we've done 2 performances so far, and both of them have been completely different to any of the others. I don't know, it's just like we get given our stimulus, but it's just finding a way to go about it where you wouldn't expect everyone else to do it, so the audience doesn't see what's coming, and it just gets you thinking outside the box a bit more. Things.
It's been really gradual as well. We get less and less help with it. So for the first one, we had quite an obvious thing to go off. We had to go into the uni and find something to start off with, and then for the second one we had to pick a practitioner to base it on, but for this one it's literally just, it has to be movement based and that's it. Okay. So it's really, really broad. We did Arte.
Run! 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 No Feet got signed to Barcelona Football Club, and the frenulum just restricts movement. Some people don't even have it.